So Monique, what rating would you give this game? Even though we just talked about it.
I would give it an 8 because I don't think the game was bad, but it wasn't my absolute favorite. So keeping that in mind, like the games that I would give a 10, this in relation to that, like I would say an 8 because it was really. I love the fact that it was like, you know, it was pretty unique. Like this hasn't been done to my liking before. Like the fact that it even captivated me in the first place says a lot. You know, I don't do horror games. Yeah. The graphics are phenomenal.
Yeah, if nothing else, the graphics
story,
get a 10 out of 10.
I mean, the fact that even though some of it's pretty typical, like we're able to discuss it throughout the different phases. You know, it's not like we didn't feel like it was worth talking about. You know what I mean? So I liked it. Wasn't like my favorite game ever, but I also don't like scary things.
I guess.
So that's why I would give it an 8.
I think one of the biggest issues of the game is the controller. Well, how the character controls is not as tight as I would like it to be. If the character was a little more responsive and faster, I think the game would go a lot further. It would not be as big a hassle to pick up random objects on the ground, which you have to look for, and it takes a long time, and the walk might help. Also, the quick time events remove all sense of fear from the game. You just have to make sure you hit the right button, not make sure you respond accurately to the situation. You can do whatever you want as long as you press the right button.
And don't choose games like this do the same thing, so that's why I'm not like.
Well, what I'm saying like that is The Walking Dead. A lot of times they still have quick time events, but
Game of Thrones.
Hold on, wait. Let me give you an example though. In Telltale games, a lot of times, even on crucial points, you still may be in control of your character. You have to move your character to a certain place by a certain time, or something bad happens. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you're still engaged at certain points. The fact that every time a quick time event happens means that, oh, here's the scary part. It takes you away from it being scary. It's not scary. Like, it's still interactive, and that's nice.
And maybe that's why I can tolerate it more, is because, like, if I was forced to, like,
sit
try
and
to
play
stay calm, cool, and collected through a scary section, I couldn't play it by myself. This, like, now that I know what the story is and where to expect things, like, I could potentially play through this by myself.
Because truthfully, as I said, whenever I play, like, Fatal Frame, and I know when the scary thing is going to happen, it's almost worse, because it's like, then I have to... Oh, well, now the scary thing triggered, and now I have to interact, versus it just popping up and then me naturally reacting.
Mm-hmm.
Just dreading the fact that it's coming versus just reacting to the fact that it already came.
Like, it might have been intentional, though, because they don't want you
I don't think so.
If they expect you to be afraid,
I think it was easy to program.
Should they penalize you for being, like, having the reaction that they expected you to have?
It's a scary game, though, and the thing about it is, it would be more up to you how you responded, and based off of how you respond, if you meet certain criteria,
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Like, instead of giving you a choice between this and that, this or that.
Yeah, like as I said, they could have easily implemented a stamina bar. What I mean by a stamina bar is like you run full speed, but when you're running, you're more likely to trip over things, and then you could throw up things. As I control, then I have to press a button or I'll fall.
Well, why don't you make that game show?
I don't care about it that much.
You can do that. But, like, I do get it. A part of what made Fatal Frame so creepy, even though I hated Fatal Frame, was that, like, when scary stuff happened, you still had the ability
have to respond to it.
To respond.
You pull out your little camera and you start taking pictures. You're
you
the
can
best
run away,
photographer.
or you can do whatever.
You talk about pictures. You gonna take so many good pictures. High quality film. Let me get the right lens. Let's get this Pierce lens. The zero.
That was pretty terrifying.
Zero lenses. It's. Even though, like, Fatal Frame is very corny, whenever you actually fight the ghost, it's not scary, but initially being startled by it is. We compare it to, like, this compared to PT. PT was horrifying. That game, it got all up in you. The scariest thing about this game is the music. That's the scariest thing about the game, truthfully. Everything else is... The jump scares aren't scary. That and Don't Move. Don't Moves are horrifying. Because it's like, let me be ready, or I'm going to die for no reason. It's not annoying as aggravating.
I feel like they should put more jump scares at parts where you are more likely to jump in.
I'm not jumping in this game. I'm just as soon as I saw it don't move, I'm like, regardless of what happened, I'm not jumping. I'm just gonna sit here and be afraid and not move. So yeah, we're doing this review a little bit early. We have a little more to go before the game is over. We're in the final chapter. We made it back into the house. Storyline, in my opinion, was predictable. I thought one or both of them was alive. I assume, and if they weren't alive, then they were either zombies or some type of supernatural event had fell upon them. And apparently, look, yeah, you turned into a random flipping. I call her a dragon. I initially thought she was shooting fire, but no, that was the stranger and his flamethrower. I would have been cooler with dragon than these little. They look like gargoyles. They look like the thing from Bloodborne, the little wyvern gargoyle things that jump down and try to eat people. That's what they need. They need a hunter. A hunter will kill all of them. Just saying. But after that, it was apparent that Josh was unstable, and nothing he said made sense. He acted like he didn't know what happened that night. All of that. It's like he has cameras everywhere. He knows exactly what happened. And then everything from that point on did not make sense. A couple split up. They go into the blizzard 5 miles away to go to an abandoned cabin that does not have electricity. They can't contact no one. They don't have cell phone service. None of it made sense. That was foolish. And yeah, from then on, just things.
I mean, they didn't think anything was wrong then.
That's not the point.
To be fair,
it's a blizzard. You don't have cell phone service. Like, why are you outside? Like, logically, that is so foolish because you could trip and die. You're hiking through the woods on a mountain. So not only are you hiking through the woods, a mountain. There's deer, bear. There's a lot of random stuff.
And they had nothing to protect those animals.
And so he just ended up dead from something random. Your friends died from going out alone before, and yet you thought it was smart to go out yourself. Foolish. It was so foolish. I don't know. In my opinion, the storyline, it just started off so slow. You know, the teenage drama. It was worse than Degrassi. In my opinion, Degrassi has better storyline than this did initially. But all of those extreme, very cliche personalities did come out when things got intense. I hated Emily in the beginning, but she's one of the most amusing characters. At 4.0, she deserves everything. She's the smartest girl in here. Not really. But she reacted better than... Actually, out of girls who handled it the best, Sam. Sam is a trooper. Like, Sam running around with a towel. She fine. She ain't freaking out. Why am I in the towel? She living. She survived. She kept that towel around her. She was so decent. Outside of that, I probably have to give it to Jess. Because Jess flipping... Well, no, actually, I think Emily gets it. Even though Emily is probably the most annoying character in the game because she's just so negative to the guy that cares about her. Like she after he left, she was functional. She was so functional. I don't need no man, and she apparently didn't. Then I give it to Jess because she fell forever and had disappeared and then woke up and she was still alive. And I feel like Jess and Matt should get together. That you see, he embraced her and she actually listened. She doesn't go on and be ornery with him and just fight him for no reason. I don't trust your judgment. You're an idiot. But the worst character, in my opinion, has to be Ashley because she.
Oh God, Ashley.
She is so fickle. She don't care about no one but herself. She has no loyalty. When she freaked out, She lost her human. She lost everything.
Question Chris' taste in women.
Chris is a nerd. You can't trust his taste in women. He's an uber nerd apparently. Oh my God. His best friend was a sociopath. Well, not a sociopath.
I don't know that was a two-way friendship.
I'm pretty sure it was.
You know, he has issues. He's very much capable of seeing things that.
We ain't even talking about poor Josh crazy, but
that's what I'm talking about.
I don't know. Maybe Josh made Chris feel normal. I did not like Mike initially. He grew on me, but I mean, he's supposed to be like the guy that one of the He has plot armor. He apparently is really hard to kill until now. Anyone can die now that's still alive. I'm not gonna let anyone die personally, but yeah. All in all, game was pretty good. It's really predictable. I don't want to spoil it too much for y'all that haven't played it. Butterfly system was cool to some degree. Like, it depends on if I can go back and change or see how other things play out. I think that'd be a little bit cooler, and I have to start separate saves. I'm mad. I'm missing one total. Hopefully, won't have to replay everything for that one total. I'll probably need to play the next one with a guide. But yeah, I think that is all. I'll probably give it a 7. If it had better controls, I'd give it an 8. But
yeah, I didn't have to play it, but so much. I played like the first few chapters on my own account. So
I'm gonna probably
I guess I'm not
platinum it.
penalizing for control wise.
No, because it knowing that if you don't get the clue someone might die makes you want to look everywhere for them, and you just do it so slowly, and it's so aggravating.
I mean, a game is supposed to make you want to search every
but
corner
it
of the
shouldn't
world.
be painful to do it.
It's a scary game.
No, it shouldn't be painful.
Otherwise, you would cut corners.
I was okay. Here's another thing about Fatal Frame that's really cool. Whenever you press their run button, you literally run forward. You don't have to direct it. You just hold trigger and she runs. You don't even have to use the control stick. She just runs straight. I'm cool with that. I would have been a lot better with that.
Clearly, this was a very intentional decision to make you have to.
It was a very bad decision.
Agonizingly walk through all of this stuff.
Maybe. All right. Leave this on now. We'll probably put up another discussion of the storyline, full of spoilers, after I beat the game in the next 30 minutes. But enjoy your evenings and or mornings whenever you do watch it.